Hello, YouTube. In today's video, we are back with my queen, Stephanie, aka Rotten Mango, with another absolutely disgusting case today that we're gonna be talking about. Just look at bro's face. Like, I didn't even have to read the title. Just looking at this Looksmaxxer ass dude, you just know today's video is gonna be bad, bro. So yeah, let's read the title. Girlfriend caught TikTok Looksmaxxer boyfriend buying CP. Let me repeat that. Buying CP exposed him, but his fans still support him. Like, it's just crazy how much people don't give a fuck today. Like, it's not even pretty privilege, is it? Look at him. Even though it's another guy, like, I can still say if a guy is attractive. Like, I'm not blind. I do not find this to be good looking, right? Can you guys agree? Like, this fucking puckering of the lips, the protruding of your jaw, that looks goofy as fuck. So it can't be pretty privilege that's protecting him, is it? There's no way. He looks weird. I really can't find another way to explain what's going on here, unless it's just dudes that are protecting him, that are defending him because they hate women. I don't know. Like, anyway, I don't really know what else to say. I'm gonna shut up now. Let's get into this video. Let's get into this case.
Bada bing, bada boo.
I will say it's quite unclear who the saying, "It can always be worse," is meant for. Like, is it supposed to be uplifting? Don't complain about your weak jawline. It can always be worse. You could have...
It's just like, oh my god, straight off the bat, it can't be pretty privileged. This looks fucking stupid. Is anybody in my chat right now turned on by this? Like, oh my god. Bro, what are you doing with your eyes and your lips? Okay, sorry. Anyway, continue.
Don't complain about your weak jawline. It can always be worse. You could have big doe eyes instead of sexy hunter eyes. How will people know that you're a predator and not a prey? Your complaint...
Bro wanted to be a predator so bad. Having predator eyes wasn't enough. He actually had to become a predator. No, I'm dead, bro.
Or is it just supposed to be dismissive? Your complaint does not match this imaginary threshold I've created in my mind about the amount of distress you can be in, so quit complaining. Either way, it can always be worse. It's not very productive, nor is it a very helpful comment to ever make. Like, what does that even mean? A girl named Liv is very suspicious that her boyfriend, for the past 8 months, has been cheating on her. But it can always be worse, right? But what if it's as bad as it can possibly get? What if there is no worse? This is the bottom. Then what do you say? Liv and Mason have been together for about 8 months, and she has this gut feeling that he is cheating on her. Enough so that she either wakes up or stays awake until 7 in the morning.
She is unironically more attractive than him. And she doesn't have to do the goofy faces that this guy was doing to make her jaw look good and stuff like that. She's not doing any stupid ass face. She's not squinting her eyes like the other guy. The other dude's a fraud, I swear.
Wakes up or stays awake until 7 in the morning, and she notices that he's asleep in bed next to her, which, side note, how dare he rest? And that's not sarcasm, I'm being very serious. How dare he slumber? He's snoozing away. Liv reaches over, and there's only one way to find out if he's cheating on her, which is go through his phone. What else is there to do? She starts going through it, his messages, his most recent chat history. And within the next hour or so, Liv hastily packs some of her things, practically makes a run for it. She leaves without waking him up. She doesn't even seem to leave a note, nothing. She just gets out of there. Because Liv went in there with the suspicion that he was cheating on her, which sure, it can always be worse. But what she finds in his phone is the quote, worse. It doesn't get worse from here. This is the worst thing that could be found on his phone. And she has all the evidence. She's going to the police with it. And he hasn't been discreet about it either. I mean, usually when you combine a profile picture of breasts with an unknown user on Telegram, yeah, your girlfriend is probably gonna go through the chat history.
Bro, if you go through your partner's phone and you see nudes from an unknown user on Telegram, that app specifically, I'm just assuming the worst. I would do the same thing. I'm going to the cops. Like, this person is probably not of age and you probably have CP.
Unknown user on Telegram. Yeah, your girlfriend is probably gonna go through the chat history. I'm not sure what Liv was expecting. Perhaps the worst, or at least the worst that she and probably most others can imagine. She clicks open the chat. The unknown user is messaging her boyfriend, Mason. CP, teens, and all group links available. Which package are you interested in and what's your budget?
Wait, who's texting this?
This unknown Telegram profile with boobs is texting her boyfriend, which is alarming, right? But it could always be a scam. It could be a spam message, a phisher, but her boyfriend, Mason, responds. CP, $25 max. They respond, okay, I get quality CP mega link with large good files of 2,500 HD video files.
Bro said $25 max for some CP. Okay, I'm gonna paint another picture for you. Imagine you're self-conscious and you have this gut feeling that your partner is cheating on you, right? And then you find out he is cheating on you because he's trying to get nudes from other people, but he's not just cheating on you. He's cheating on you with kids, basically, with kids content, bro.
Liv is reading as the two of them start going down the path of talking about how the payment is going to be secured. Her boyfriend that's laying right next to her is sending pictures showing that the payment went through. And that's not the only message. She clicks another conversation that her boyfriend initiates with a suspicious user. Her boyfriend starts the conversation. Hi. The other party responds, CP content available. Her boyfriend asks, how much? And they respond, $20 for videos, $30 for megalinks, $40 for joining CP group, $80 for all of the above. Her boyfriend Mason seemingly voices his pick by texting back, okay, $20. He is then redirected to message another user, which has some variation of like trusted seller in their username, so that's promising. He's told to message him to get a link for the content. The boyfriend messages them April 27th, and the next day, presumably after getting the link, he asks for more content and states that he's willing to pay $10.
It's weird too because he's cheap as fuck. He's like really trying to bargain to get the best value CP for his dollar. Like, what? He's so passionate about it.
$10. She clicks on one of the links and she later describes to the police she saw little girls between the ages anywhere between 6 to like 10 years old and some as young as 3 years old. Toddlers. This is the case of Mason Hull, a TikTok influencer, Looksmaxxer to be exact, who was exposed by his ex-girlfriend for purchasing CSAM.
And all the allegations are true, right?
There he is. There's the man, Gideon.
Not all, but some, yes. Okay, well, the child stuff was true, right? Oh.
And all of his bizarre excuses and why there are still a small but strong group of people that support him.
That's just something I'll never be able to wrap my head around. 6 years old, like prepubescent age children. How can you look at that and like find yourself becoming like even just thinking about the idea of that makes me want to vomit.
Today's case involves mentions of illicit drug usage that's forced, misogynist rhetorics, essay, CSAM, please prioritize your own health, take a break if you need to. Statements and quotes may be condensed for brevity, and with that in mind, let's begin. It's kind of like a horror movie. So you picture a high school guy named Norm. He's not like the most conventionally attractive person out there, but like objectively speaking, I guess you could say that Norm has troubled skin. His skin is full of acne and blemishes. He's not ripped or jacked like the high school jocks. His jawline is non-existent thanks to his very hungry appetite. Like, he's on the shorter side. His eyes are dark brown. His shoulders are slumped. God, his fucking shoulders are very slim, is what Norm would say. And his neck is way too skinny. And he's got big dough.
Bro, Stephanie is R-rated nowadays, I swear. I don't know. She's R-rated nowadays. She is so loose with the curse words. It's kind of hot too.
Shoulders are very slim, is what Norm would say, and his neck is way too skinny, and he's got big doe-ass eyes, like little Bambi caught in some headlights. That's what Norm looks like. Norm is every normal teenage high school boy, and he decides that he is going to ask out his crush, his one true love, a girl named Becky, who he believes he has a very good chance at because they're both not that popular. They're not the most conventionally attractive. They're kind of the outcast. Norm asks Becky to go to prom with him, but Becky the bitch, doesn't just reject him, she chuckles in his face. She goes around telling everyone he gives her the creeps, and she's so flabbergasted that he would even fathom the idea that they could ever be together for such an important event like prom.
Gosh, these foids. These cruel, disgusting foids and their hypergamy.
Fathom the idea that they could ever be together for such an important event like prom. This sends Norm over the edge. He grabs a hammer, a used Home Depot hammer from his parents' garage, and he starts hitting his face with the hammer. He starts taking substances to stay awake and lose weight. He's barely consuming enough calories to survive. He slips in insoles into his shoes. He finds testosterone on the black market from some random suspicious third-party retailer that is definitely not a doctor or a licensed pharmacist, and he starts taking testosterone and steroids. He starts pulling at his face, snorting lines of Accutane. He's probably just taking the pills, but that's being dramatic. And now he has transformed. He has ascended, they say.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm hearing Stephanie utter these looks-maxing terms, bro. Like ascending. But yeah, like anyway, what I was really wanting to touch on is, dude, yeah, these looks-maxers, well, some of them take things to the extreme just to be able to lose weight, to be taller. They'll slip insoles into their shoes that boost their height. Clavicular, that streamer guy, he was taking cocaine at one point, I think, to help himself lose weight, to get hollow cheeks. He was injecting himself with something. I forgot what it was. It was heroin and meth. Oh, my bad. I said cocaine. I meant heroin and meth.
He has ascended, they say, from Norm to Chad Light. And now when he walks by Becky the bitch in the hallways, all she can
Chad
do is
Light,
leave a
bro.
trail
Chad
of drool like a
Light.
snail trail because she is so mesmerized by his masculinity, by his appearance, by his looks. But Norm, I mean Chad Light now, walks right past loser Becky in the hallway and straight up to the blonde, hot cheerleader Stacy and asks her out. She of course says yes, but nothing else because hot girls should never speak. Duh, you know, that's what makes them hot. And they ride off into the distance, writing each other. Except not really, because Chad Light has erectile dysfunction from all the substances he's been pumping for his transformation. But that's not the point. The point is, he has mugged everybody. Welcome to the wet dreams and inner ramblings and fantasies of a Looksmaxxer.
She actually did a pretty good job explaining the absurdity of Looksmaxxing right there. It's like, yeah, congrats, man. You got the girl, but now your dick doesn't work from all the drugs you consumed.
Do I think that everyone in the Looksmaxxing community thinks like this? Probably not. Do I think that there's enough people that think this way that it's almost become a meme? Absolutely. Now, I do want to make a quick disclaimer as a girl who went through an ugly phase in high school and is probably still in like the tail end of said ugly phase. I'm just getting old enough not to really care about it.
Stephanie, if you ever say some stupid ass shit like that again, I'm unsubbing and I'm never watching you again. Nobody talks shit about you, not even you. Okay, that just pissed me the fuck off. Anyway.
I do have a lot of sympathy for people who feel overwhelmed by societal pressure to change their appearance and meet some sort of arbitrary beauty standard that is most likely not even attainable, nor is it healthy in the long run. I don't judge a single person who gets consumed over their appearance. I don't think it's vain in the slightest. I think it's very understandable pain to look at yourself in the mirror and not be happy with what you see. I think everyone can relate to that. However, sometimes I think people's reasonings behind why they're doing such drastic things for their appearance is a little silly goofy. If it's to show Becky the bitch from high school that you're better than her, it's just kind of weird. I also think that if you're out here peddling all these methods, you call them, to children on how they can not be ugly and keep mugging, and you're just like giving harmful advice such as blunt force trauma to the face via a hammer, I think it's free game to openly shit on those individuals if their net impact is a net negative to their audience. Like, yeah, maybe we should dissect some of their little thought patterns. So with that, let's get into the world of Looksmaxxing.
Stephanie, why you hating, bro? Don't stop the kids from ascending. You're just jealous. Like, you just don't want us to ascend.
Let's get into the world of Looksmaxxing. It's very hard to pinpoint. You know, Looksmaxxing is difficult to define. At face value, it's just the idea that you need to take care of yourself because we live in a society where things like pretty privilege exist. So take care of your health, eat healthy, do your skincare, be hygienic, which I don't think inherently seems like a bad thing at all. In fact, I do think if you can afford it and you're able-bodied, self-grooming is not a bad idea. Like, it's probably a very good thing to adopt. However, Looksmaxxing is just not just that. They take it a step further, where they have decided that not only are looks the most important thing in your life, but also there are only a few set of traits that are considered attractive. Everything else, you might as well roll around in dog shit and call it a day because you're never going to be considered hot. One Looksmaxxer states,
first impressions are visual, not verbal. So you are literally being judged before you even say anything.
Wait, some Looksmaxxers literally tell you to reincarnate if you're too ugly. Like, if they consider you too ugly, they literally say like, oh dude, it's over. Like, it's so over for you. Just die. Just kill yourself. Reincarnate. They also use the term rope max, like go rope max, which means to go KYS.
think about when you see an attractive person out in public on the train or something. Your brain is literally making assumptions. You're perceiving who they are as a person before you even talk to them. It takes an extreme level of willpower and critical thinking to not judge someone based on how they look at first glance.
I know a lot of you people are probably coping, thinking that you don't do this, but literally it's hardwired into our psychology. I believe Looksmaxxing is the future.
I don't know if he's like fucking running for office, okay? But
let me say this. I think that it might be a trend currently at the moment, but I think something so hardwired into our brain and rooted into our biology is not going to leave. I think that we just all of a sudden understood the importance recently of this, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger.
he says that Looksmaxxing can be broken into two groups, appeal and PSL. Appeal is literally maximizing how attractive you are in the real world and to others, whereas PSL is maximizing your online little PSL score of how attractive you are objectively by measurements that are made in Looksmaxxing forums.
PSL, what does that stand for?
We're gonna get there. Okay. Yeah, it gets crazy. So I looked into it.
Okay, I kind of somewhat looked into this too. I think PSL is like the raw, like super raw measurement of, they measure your face, your facial thirds to see how well you fit the PSL scale. And then I think appeal is, it's not really tied directly with PSL. I think appeal is just basically how well your facial features fit your face or like fit you. And if it fits you well, then even though you might not have the highest PSL score, you are still somewhat deemed attractive by girls, by men, whoever you're into, you know?
I looked into it. It ranges from 0 to 8. Okay, 8 being high. PSL doesn't stand for anything that's going to be enlightening. So to everyone's surprise, it does not stand for pumpkin spice latte. It actually stands for PUA hate, which was a back then online forum.
PUA hate.
Yeah, pickup artist hate.
Okay.
I was thinking, pickup artist hate? They
Sign
must
me
be
up.
for the girls. Yeah, sign me up. I want to be on that forum. It is now like a defunct forum, and they hated pickup artists, not because they stand for women and not manipulating women, but they said that pickup artists are online schemers who sell ugly boys courses, and it doesn't matter how charismatic or funny you are because girls only like hot chads, so it'll never work.
All right, the boys are fighting.
Yeah, the boys are fighting by themselves on who's uglier. It's so weird. Then there's another one, slut hate, lookism, PSL. Yeah. But now they've relabeled it perceived sexual level scale. This is like the incel looksmaxxing initial 3 trifecta forums that existed. Like this is before Reddit. Well, I don't know if Reddit was around, but this is before, like instead of you used to go to puhate.com versus like r/puhate, you know what I mean? PUA hate, but yeah, PSL, perceived sexual level scale. Here's the scale. You have to judge the face based off of 4 categories. Harmony, how well your features work together. Dimorphism, how distinct you look from the opposite sex. Angularity, how sharp you look, so low body fat. And miscellaneous, which is your individual features such as eyebrow thickness, skin clarity, nasolabial folds, color, contrast, nose shape, teeth, hair. The lowest tier is 0.25 to 1.5 in PSL ranking. That tier is called subhuman, so they're like straight to the chase. They don't really
Oh yeah, they literally call you subhuman if you rank that low, dude. It's just the terminologies are funny. Like it's literally called subhuman. Like you're subhuman. Oh my god.
to 1.5 in PSL ranking. That tier is called subhuman, so they're like straight to the chase. They don't really beat around the bush. Only 1 in 2,000 people make it into the lowest tier, which is described as individuals falling within this category are exceptionally unattractive and often exhibit deformities. Revealing their face could genuinely frighten people, and they have almost no redeeming facial qualities. In that, quote, real cause of medical and surgical consultation. Then you have 1.5 to 3, which is a low tier normie. Normie being a mediocre bitch, basically, okay? 1 in 7 people fall into this category. I genuinely don't know how the math adds up, but here we are, right? I don't think Looksmaxxers are known for their mathematical abilities. Individuals falling into this category possess an ordinary level of unattractiveness. You're just like regular ugly. They might face bullying due to their appearance, generally considered ugly in real life, but nothing serious. Great, so not seriously ugly, just like moderately ugly. Love it. Then you have 2 to 4.5, which is the mid-tier normie. 1 in 2 people fit in this standard according to who the fuck knows, and it is described as individuals belonging to this group are entirely average. They epitomize the common person. While they might be seen as unattractive by a few, in truth, they are simply ordinary. Then you have 4.5 to 5.5 tier, the high tier normies.
That's me. I'm HTN. I'm claiming it. I don't care. You can disagree. I'm HTN. Or am I subhuman?
Then you have 4.5 to 5.5 tier, the high tier normies. Individuals falling into this group are typically seen as appealing and good looking, often being among the most attractive individuals in a classroom or a small workplace setting. So tell me why, in this example list for this tier, some mashed potato for brain Looksmaxxer placed photos of Michael B. Jordan and Zendaya as high tier normies. I don't know what the Looksmaxxers have against Michael B. Jordan, because another one rated Michael B. Jordan. They said actually he's 3.5. He's, quote, super facially challenged, which is not what.
Super facially?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not what any women alive thinks, especially after the movie Sinners, but like, okay, sure. Then you have the tier above, 5.5 to 6, Chad Light. Individuals falling into this category experience an advantage in their lives.
Do they ever show their own face?
Usually not. Of course not. So in my head, they just look like a fucking Giga Chad. The drawing, not a real Giga Chad, like the drawing of the Giga Chad. Yeah. Yeah. And they say advantage in their lives due to their looks, huge advantage. Their appearance can potentially launch a modeling career or lead to a substantial following on social media.
Wait, I have the substantial following on social media. I'm Chad Light. I'm your favorite Chad Light streamer, guys. Hell yeah.
Above that is 6 to 7.25. These are the real Chads, not the fucking diet version, not the light, the reals. Individuals belonging to this category would easily stand out in a crowd, often possessing at least one striking feature, if not more. They typically encounter no difficulties with attracting romantic partners unless facing severe mental health issues. Their looks serve as an extreme advantage in various aspects of their lives. Then there's 7.25 to 7.75 to 8, the Giga Chads. Widely recognized for their exceptional looks, characterized by extremely minimal flaws such as slightly unideal eye spacing or subtle variations in brow color and nose shape. These individuals are rare, with only a handful found globally. They are considered the elite of the modeling world due to their near-perfect features. Then you have the Terra Chads, 7.75 to 8. Anything in this category is impossible. Attaining this level is...
I never thought I would see Stephanie covering this shit. Dude, that's me. That's literally me. I'm Chad. I'm Adam. I'm true Adam.
Anything in this category is impossible. Attaining this level is virtually impossible. No one can achieve absolute perfection or universal attractiveness to every woman worldwide. This destination is reserved for mythical features like Adonis or Apollo.
Or Omar.
It's like
Or
a lot,
Shushi Mushi.
okay? The arbitrary rankings are just a whole bunch of nonsense that has Looksmaxxers Looksmaxxers whipping out Adobe Photoshop to get facial measurements on someone's face. For example, ideally, the width of the eye should be 3 times its vertical height.
You know, have you seen those people put the
Chad, yes.
like they Photoshop people's face
Yes.
into like a full
The perfect
scale,
face, yes.
and then they all look so weird
So
afterwards.
gross, yes. That's what the Looksmaxxers want. That's what they dream about. The symmetry for some has almost become like an obsession. The face has to like have facial symmetry that abide by the facial thirds rule. I guess if you want to have a chance at feeling a cuddle from like a fellow warm body, you have to have like perfectly thirds. It's got to be imaginary thirds, okay? Each segment must occupy 1/3 of the face's total height. Forehead is a third. This part is a third. Your lower part needs to be a third. And it's not just the only random test out there. There's also the very, very real, everybody abides by this because of course we do, the SMV. That stands for sexual market value, which takes into your account your job, your popularity, your weight, height, facial rating to figure out your value in some sort of horned up farmer's market. This is exactly what happens. When I go out with my girlfriends, we sit there and I say, what the fuck is his SMV? Let's calculate right now. Bring out your calculator because we're dumb and we don't know how to do math because we're just girls. Like, what are you talking about? Looksmaxxing and Looksmaxxers seem to be part of the manosphere, the red pill, black pill, if you will. If you've ever been confused, just know that if you click on a live stream, and it must be a live stream, it cannot be like a video, and it's not taking place in a hotel convention center, and you just see a bunch of dudes in a nice modern house in Los Angeles or Miami. It's typically one of those 2 cities. And it's a bunch of white guys wearing suits, holding cigars while flashing their watches and Cuban link chains. And you realize that they're not attending any sort of formal event that would require a suit. They did not just get back from a wedding or some sort of work convention. This is the event. The live stream is the event. They just look like a fucking butler from the Ritz in Paris. You're probably stumbling upon some Looksmaxxers to some degree.
And LARPers, you're forgetting that, Stephanie. You mentioned Miami. Dude, that is LARPer Central. That is where everybody goes to LARP. Their APs, they're bouncing Maybachs, fake Chrome Hearts.
You're probably stumbling upon some Looksmaxxers to some degree. And more often than not,
Yeah, also
they can be
Looksmaxxers,
considered
yeah.
part of the manosphere. They all just feed into each other's pipelines. The pill pipeline. Which drug would you like? There's a lot of pills. We know the main ones, red, blue, black. Okay, so the pill color indicates basically like how much are you getting?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Slow down.
yeah.
Okay, back to the live stream.
Yes.
So there are a bunch of guys dressed in suits with
Yes.
holding a cigar, sitting around a table or standing there. What are
So
they doing?
sometimes they sit around the table and it's like the juxtaposition of the men in suits in like gaming chairs and like roll around office chairs. And they're all like sitting in a semicircle and then we're the other half of the circle, the live stream camera. Or sometimes it's like IRL live stream. Someone's following the whole mansion and they're all just like standing on the balcony. You can see the city of angels behind them and they've got a cigar.
They're streamers or
Yeah, they're streamers and like it's just a bunch of dudes. You don't see a woman in sight and they just talk about women.
oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen that even like as a clip before. Is that
Or, okay, so she said there's not a woman in sight. That's not true. Sometimes they will contract OF girls, specifically only OF girls, to make all women look bad, to use them as like scapegoats or something. Yeah.
are their audience mostly men then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a circle
Oh,
jerk.
yeah.
And like
All
when
men.
you're gonna know these people. It's like I don't know what his name is. I forget his name. But like the Tate brothers hang out with them. It's like the manosphere.
I see.
Oh, I know who she's talking about. Wait, hold on. This guy, these fuckers, they would hang out with Andrew Tate and shit. The Fresh and Fit podcast. That's the name. Yeah, the Fresh and Fit.
Are they Lookmaxxers or?
Yes.
Oh, they are considered?
Manosphere is Looksmaxxers are like a subset of the manosphere. Not all Looksmaxxers are part of the manosphere. It's like not all Christians go to church, right?
Yeah,
Type
yeah.
of vibe. But
Do they call themselves Lookmaxxers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I don't think the Tate brothers do.
Do you have to look certain way to call yourself a Lookmaxxer?
I mean, probably because you might get laughed at if you don't.
Right.
While I was going down the whole rabbit hole, I did see their arrest footage. And I just want to say one thing and one thing only. And this is my only opinion right now that I'm going to give you. I don't even think I own a pair of pants that tight. Even in my hoiest
Dude,
of ho
yeah.
days. Never. It's cutting off circulation. It's basically like compression pants. He's going like, is he trying to get on a plane? Anyway, the pill color indicates how strong the misogyny coursing through the veins is, and probably is a direct correlation of how often you get laid. I'm only half kidding, but not really. Red pill appears to be how it all started. It's from the movie The Matrix, which is like a movie you cannot watch anymore without having incels talking about it. If you take the red pill, you've watched the movie, red pill, blue pill. If you take the red pill, that means you have woken up to the system of the real world, where you realize women have the advantage and female oppression is a myth. Typically, women are manipulative, lying, scheming creatures who really only care about status and looks, and they will tell you that they want someone with a good personality, but in reality, they just want a rich Chad with a fat wallet who walks like it's heavy. That's it. Blue pill. means a man who has not woken up to his reality. A lot of red pillars think that blue pillars are doormats putting women on pedestals. They haven't taken the red pill yet. They're just a bunch of bozos. And then you have the purple pill, usually someone who is both red and blue pill. They agree with aspects of both sides, but they're not as aggressively like one or the other. And then you have the black pillars, and they seem to be where a lot of the Looksmaxxers fit in. So red pill is typically synonymous with incels.
Okay.
Black pill too, but black pillars have this, they do have intimate relations, it seems, however sparse. I believe black pillars believe that the system is too far gone to change. This is just how life is and how life is going to be forever. Looks are at the center of everything and there's no way to change it. But Looksmaxxers within the black pill community, instead of taking on the very nihilistic approach of, well, then what's the point of trying? They aggressively try. They do everything to change how they look so they can bring up their sexual market value. And for them, women are just numbers to be conquered that will enforce their SMV.
So do they care about anything else besides look? Do they care
Fame,
about like
aura,
no, but like substance?
substance abuse, yes, but no personality.
Okay.
They believe that women don't care for personality.
Like brain, personality, nothing. Just
No, they
appearances.
think women care about looks first, and then fame, status, and money second, and then nothing else
That's
really.
interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
They think looks is okay. I mean, it makes sense to them, but wow.
But not sense to anyone else, because I feel like we've had this conversation too. We were talking to a bunch of, we were like, oh yeah, what do you guys categorize? And like pretty much every girl I know is like, oh yeah, personality. I just need them to be fucking funny. Yeah, it's interesting. Now, looksmaxing is a term that was developed in the early 2010s on, like I said, openly misogynistic forums like PUA hate, slut hate, lookism. It's technically an ideology that appearance is the end-all be-all. Just based off how you look, it's going to dictate who you date, how much money you make, and pretty much every other aspect of your life. Now, I will say I do have some, like, level of sympathy for looksmaxers in the sense of, I think they're, like, feeling what girls feel. Of like, damn, people will judge my looks before they judge anything else. That kind of sucks. So I understand, and I think it is a very miserable place to be. But I do think the hatred.
Yeah, I think that part has a lot of validity to it. Like, it's not enough for a guy like before, like way before, like in the, you know, in the old days, like around when our parents were kids, right? It was enough for a guy to just have a job, and then that was enough to get you a girlfriend because, yeah, like, oh wow, you make money, holy shit. But now women are just as educated, they're making just as much money, they're getting just as high paying jobs. Now that's not cutting it anymore. You can't just have a job, you can't just do the bare minimum and expect a good relationship, you know? So now what's left? Looks, kind of, in a way. So it is kind of true what Stephanie's saying, that men for the first time are feeling what women have felt, in that you have to start caring about your looks. Like, society is now telling you to care about your looks. You can't be a slob, but just because you have a job, you can expect a girlfriend still. You have to take care of yourself. You have to, you know, be presentable, have a nice haircut. And I think because men aren't used to that, it's kind of hit us, not me, but like us in general, men, like a truck. Yeah, some dudes just took it way too far.
People will judge my looks before they judge anything else. That kind of sucks. So I understand, and I think it is a very miserable place to be. But I do think the hatred that's placed on women is probably not great. That's the part where I'm like, oh, you're losing us. You're losing lots of people. It's kind of getting weird and violent and scary.
Interesting.
Yeah. But just know that the looksmaxxing, black pill, red pill pipeline is very alive and well. It's being maintained every single day by some chiseled chads who on the internet dream about live streaming with the likes of the Tate brothers wearing booty tight trousers that you will only see in West Hollywood. Someone on Reddit describes it like this: blue pill, they tell you, just be yourself and a girl will date you. Red pill, just have game, otherwise they don't care. Black pill, just be hot. Purple pill, just be a little bit of every pill with moderation. And the best way to be the king of the looksmaxxers, the king of the black pills, is to mog. Mog so hard you don't remember a time where you were not mogging. It all starts and ends with mogging. According to Clavicular, more on him later, one of the biggest moggers on the internet, poster child for Looksmaxxers, he says mog comes from AMOG, an acronym which he states used to stand for alpha male of the group, but now they just shortened it to mog. It means you out hot whoever you're standing next to.
It's not just these super intensive plastic surgeries or these cosmetic procedures. It's just anything that's going to improve your looks.
The Looksmaxxers take it so seriously, they have World War Mogs.
Wait, what? World War Mogs. So like they battle against each other with their looks or something?
They have a place called Mogwarts. It's a paid course where they teach you how to be the moggiest of moggers so you can forever mog.
Okay. How do you do that?
I didn't pay. It's $50 a month, honey.
Oh.
Yeah, you can height mog, just means you're taller than whoever you're standing next to. Frame mog, you're more jacked than the person you're standing next to. Neck mog, you've got a wider neck. This is a good thing. The wide neck epidemic needs to be studied in the future. There are pictures that Looksmaxxers will show you what the perfect neck looks like. Just think of your neck to be the exact width of your face. It's a lot of neck. It's just like a tree trunk implanted under your chin. Decapitation is a faraway worry for any real Looksmaxxer because their neck is just a behemoth. One person says a big problem that I see with a lot of guys is their neck is simply too skinny compared to the size of their head. Because it's too small, their entire facial harmony and facial masculinity is thrown off, which makes them less attractive. Also, they need to do eye corner pulling, which if you do in public, I'm gonna call you racist, but it's just like where you like do this, okay? It's like you stretch the sides of your eye, and they say this is something that is meant to train the muscles around your eyes over time, teaching those muscles to hold your eyes in a sharper position. It will essentially allow you to achieve more hunter-like eyes over time. They want your eyes to look predatory. Do they look predatory? No, these Looksmaxxers just look like they're fucking squinting. Like it's too bright in the room and they're squinting all the time. Hunter eyes.
You know what's crazy too? I bet a lot of these Looksmaxxers used to make fun of Asians for their eyes, and now here they are stretching their eyes because they want their eyes to look more squinted, like Asian people, basically. It's funny how the tables turned.
Hunter eyes. I mean, they're supposed to be deep set in the face, no upper eyelid exposure. Studies, apparently, they cite random studies, okay, have shown that individuals with hunter eyes are generally perceived as more attractive. They say be careful though with the hunter eyes exercises because the skin around the eyes is very thin and sensitive. Ophthalmologists have come forward to say don't do that. Don't even try doing that, but okay. You must also mew to the gods. It's your sacrifice that you must make to the deities. One Looksmaxxer says, mewing is a must. We should all be mewing 24/7.
Mewing.
So you know what mewing is, right? The tongue has to sit on the roof of your mouth and it makes your jaw more chiseled.
Oh god, it's just so fucking stupid. You look so stupid. It doesn't look natural. Like it literally looks like you're sucking in. If a girl falls for this and they find this attractive, oh my god, like I would.
Apparently it's the correct tongue placement. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is just silly, goofy stuff that the girly pops invented and guys have rebranded it, infringed upon our girly trademarks and renamed it something that sounds more masculine so they don't feel gay while they do a 9-step skincare routine. God forbid. He did, but he's been more open to it these days. Nevertheless, they're mewing. They're doing skincare. They're also just like doing color theory. They say your teeth should match the whiteness of your eye whites because if it's whiter than that, you look uncanny, you look unnatural. Freaky color theory, but color theory nonetheless. But also for men, the mouth has to be wide. If not wide, there's no point in even opening your mouth to talk. If you don't have a wide mouth, worry not, it's not entirely hopeless. You still have a chance at living a meaningful life and contributing to society. You could always get a mouth expander. Or perhaps I could interest you in having the simple procedure of having a doctor cut open the sides of your mouth to make it wider. But why have a doctor do it when you have a pair of scissors and a roll of gauze at home?
Lord. Really?
Yeah. I think a lot of people watching can relate to the misery that is trying to be conventionally attractive. So this is not me trying to be snarky or say like, oh, look at them trying to be hot. When like we're all trying to be hot and we're all failing miserably. It's just the way they go about it is a little weird. And the way that like, I think also, maybe I'm not conveying correctly. If you
I think they're too judgmental, right?
They're too judgmental to each other and to kids who go on the forum, like 14-year-old boys. And on top of that, all of this angst that they have of feeling conventionally attractive is directed straight into hatred for women. So that's why we're poking fun. It's not because it's like snarky, like, haha, look at them, they're pathetic. Like, we're all pathetic, right? But it's just brutal. There's subreddits like r/TrueRateMe, and people will post pictures of themselves to have anonymous, but most likely guys that smell like wet moldy towels and a greasy keyboard rate some of the prettiest people I've seen. And they say, oh, you're a 6.2 on a good day with makeup. And I'm like, that person could be on a TV show. They tell other people, seemingly underage boys, that they're not mogging hard enough and they should chew on a towel, which is a thing. It's called towel chewing, towel pulling or whatever. And you bite on a towel so you can train your jaw. You add stress to your masseter muscles to make your jawline look sharper. And again, I can't even judge that because there are lots of people who get masseters Botox to make their jaw look slimmer, but it's just, I would never advise an underage person to do that. There's thumb pulling where you put your thumbs on the roof of your mouth every single day, a few times a day, and you pull because you're trying to pull out the upper palate because the last thing you want, the last thing a Looksmaxxer wants is your lower face to be recessed like a mouth breather, they say. When you're not trying to rearrange your face, you're also gym maxing so you can rearrange your body. And a very important message if you're gym maxing is you must post photos of yourself gym maxing, which results in the Looksmaxxing community to just be filled with guys posting thirst traps, shirtless thirst traps, flexing their neck muscles, sucking in their cheeks. They love sucking in their cheeks to get like a defined jawline. Yeah. Like they're sucking on a straw or something else so hard that their cheeks are like starting to cave in. Yeah, just muscle memory sucking
looks
motion.
Weird, no? I think it looks those photos. So weird.
So bizarre. Yeah. And then it's just a bunch of guys commenting on those thirst traps talking about how Chad, the original poster, is, how good they look. It's almost by definition. I don't think we could get closer definitionally to a circle jerk filled with a bunch of guys, and you rarely ever see girls in that circle jerk. Except when the Looksmaxxer wannabes are talking about how the girls are gonna love how Chad someone is. Look, I don't know. Can I just say, if you're young and you're insecure about the way you look, Looksmaxxing is probably not the right way to go, or at least the way it looks right now. Aside from a few, most of the Looksmaxxers have this very uncanny valley look to them where they just look like wannabe cosplayers who escape from Comic-Con, which, side note, I think cosplayers are typically very hot, but the Looksmaxxers are so stiff. Like, the cosplayers are cool and they're fun and they're just like the way they express themselves artistically is so attractive to see, right? But then Looksmaxxers, they walk weird and they're always posing and sucking in that you just feel very uncomfortable watching them because they look so conscious about how they look. And then you start feeling their insecurities and you just want to leave because you feel uncomfortable. It's just weird. One Looksmaxxer says, it does not just stop at looks though, okay? Status, fame, or connections are a huge part of the Looksmaxxing journey. And maybe just as important, equally as important, is something they call banana maxing. Yeah, you never thought we'd get here, right? Banana maxing is making your banana the best in the market of your pants. One Looksmaxxer gives the advice, weight loss can help reduce the fat pad under there, which can make your banana look a whole lot better. And there are vacuum tools out there, devices that you can use to temporary gain.
They use the word banana?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's also this, like, so they use pumps. It's like a vacuum.
Right.
I always thought those were like for activities. I always thought people were getting those like because they're into certain scenes, right? But turns out Looksmaxxers are a huge market. I don't know where they're hiding it, but they just whip them out during live stream. I think Clavicular has like a whole collection of them.
way.
Yeah. They're giving advice, they're doing YouTube videos. Then there's the suspender bungee rope contraption you can wear. If I'm not mistaken, you attach something to your knee or somewhere down there, and then the other part is attached to your banana, and it's like a bungee cord down to...
Oh, that's called jelking. Don't ask how I know that. But it's basically like you stroke your thingy, not in that way, not like jerking off, but like you kind of stretch it, you pull on it, and it's meant to like extend the length over time.
Then there's the suspender bungee rope contraption you can wear. If I'm not mistaken, you attach something to your knee or somewhere down there, and then the other part is attached to your banana, and it's like a bungee cord down to your knee, so it's like trying to pull gravity down on your banana, and you're supposed to wear it all day under your pants. Just uncomfortable, absolutely. Okay, unbearable pain, fingers crossed it's not. Does it work? Some claim after a year of wearing this torture device every single day, they have noticed about an inch of difference in a single year, so I imagine it's very sore. I don't even know if you could use it, but what do I know? And again, I think it's weird because, and I'm not making fun of it, I also have I had insecurities about intimate parts of my body, and it's not like me shaming people for having those thoughts. I just think it's weird because I've never met a girl who cared about stuff like that. So it just feels a little misled, it feels a little misguided, and it feels very dangerous, if I might say, because Clavicular himself has stated that he struggles heavily with erectile dysfunction from all of the substances and treatments that he's done, and I'm sure banana maxing was not helpful, but they rank it as important as shoe lifts, which they say the height gain from shoe lifts is not the most substantial. The insole is rather squishy, so the added height is actually not as much as it claims to be. So it's better to actually just wear a shoe that is naturally taller, and if all else fails, in the wise words of Clavicular, you can always wear long pants and tiptoe max. Which is like what I do when I wear long pants and I have to go into a public restroom. He's just tiptoe maxing, okay? All of this is also as equally important as wearing colored contacts, which one Looksmaxxer describes as colored contacts can actually save a bad eye area. Never heard of a bad eye area, but apparently having brown eyes, you might as well get ready to live a life of pain and suffering. Some people are even getting eye color surgery, which is laser.
I've seen that shit. People are trying to change their eye color surgically, and it just like messes them. I think it leaves them blind.
Straight to your retina so you can blue max is what they say.
Blue max.
It just like takes all the pigment out of your eye, and it is widely known to be dangerous and not worth it at all. I don't know what Looksmaxxers have against a simple brown eye, but it's like the bane of their existence. Side note, a lot of these guys, not all Looksmaxxers, but a lot of them think that men and women are not equal. They are rather complementary, meaning, you know, men are supposed to be in charge and women are supposed to listen, right? But are we supposed to listen to someone who's petrified of staring into the depths of his own brown eyes? I don't know if I would put my life in those people's hands. If you have brown eyes, you're cooked. That's what they say.
I'm cooked, guys. No, I'm fucking cooked. Me and my poo-poo eyes, bro. Oh, God.
If you have brown eyes, you're cooked. Clavicular said, you know, if you can get the procedure, he says, you could probably slay tons of hot chicks while ascending and living in Mog City. I'll do this eventually in my life.
Do what?
Laser surgery for eye color change.
Oh, he has brown eyes?
I think they're like light brown.
Yeah, I'm subhuman, guys.
There's also height surgery. Oh yeah, there's a whole caste system ranking for colors of eyes. If you have dark, almost black, brown eyes, you are, quote, untouchable sanitation workers, street sweepers. If they're dark brown, you're a manual laborer, peasant, street merchant. It goes all the way up in order of hazel, green, dark blue, to the very lightest blue color, which they state as, quote, men destined to define eras and change history, who will be remembered for millennia to come.
Wait, what am I? I think I'm like T30. I'm like T30 or something. something.
It's a goofy chart. If you have green eyes, that means you're an officer, an official, or a diplomat. If you have dark blue eyes, you're an influential artist, writer, and general. Where are we getting any of this information? I feel like the peptide maxing has melted everybody's brains. What is peptide maxing? I can't even tell you, but I know everyone's doing it. Wall Street is no longer full of cokeheads. They're all peptide maxing, apparently. I almost got sold on peptide maxing. Someone was like, you can live a very long time for longevity and health. And then I realized we're not in the good place. We're in the bad place. Why extend this day? Okay, I really still don't to this day know what peptide maxing is, but everyone's on peptides. It's a thing. Eyeball maxing, same as shoulder maxing, height maxing. Oh, height maxing is a really big thing. People are even undergoing surgeries to height max where they like put a lever, they break your bone, they put a metal lever, and then you have to like crank it every day for 6 months. And you just like grow a tiny bit every day.
Does it work?
I don't know, but it takes years to learn how to walk properly again. And some people, even after 3-4 years after height maxing surgery, they get excited at jogging. And like, it's just...
Bro, there's Looksmaxxing, and then there's, you're now modifying yourself so much to the point you're like a robot now. You're part machine, you're part metal now. All for what? And here's the thing too, like people, you can do all of this painful ass procedures. It's gonna be so painful, and then at the end of it, you're not even gonna be able to walk right. And you still might not get girls, because at the end of the day, if you're weird, like if you just don't have a personality besides looking good, you're gonna still be lonely. You're not gonna be fulfilled.
And like, it's just kind of sad because, you know, there are lots of people who would die to have functioning legs or functioning eyes, regardless of the eye color. It's just kind of depressing, but you can also shoulder max, wear shoulder pads. They do recommend only whipping those bad boys out during winter months though, because the layers help hide them, right? I did see one clip of Clavicular just like throwing on sticky boob under his t-shirt to make his shoulder more shoulder maxing, yeah. And I never want to hear a Looksmaxxer make the very unfunny joke of taking a girl swimming on the first date to see her without makeup, because yeah, you've got 2 floaties strapped to your arms. I'll be drowning without makeup on, and you'll be like a little airhead just bobbing around with your shoulder pads, keeping you afloat.
I do want to address chat really quick, because you guys were making a really good point. That stuff about the eyes, like blue maxing, like blue eye maxing, it's like sprinkling in and low-key getting these boys used to Nazi propaganda. Like, even though they're not presenting it like how Hitler would, you're kind of sprinkling in that mentality into boys, where it's like, oh, like blue eyes, that's good. Blonde hair, good. They're pushing you to want to be more white looking. Like blue eyes, which race primarily has blue eyes? It's white people. It's sprinkling in just a little bit of white supremacy. It kind of serves as the entry point to that stuff.
Do you guys know Gideon? So Gideon is part of... I don't even know how to categorize. Like, there's a lot of categories of YouTubers where they all do different things as their form of content. It's hard to say that Gideon fits into like the predator hunter category. He does, but he also like does other content. I think he started off as like a prank YouTuber. Here's the thing about Gideon. I know that as of recently, there has been some controversies of he was friendly with another YouTuber who maybe he did not align, I think, in political values with. I think there was like a whole thing there. I didn't do a deep dive into it. And then I do believe that he was arrested briefly, where, I mean, it was not really like a substantial charge. They were live streaming, trying to go into a McDonald's. The cops were called. It was a whole thing, okay? The footage of the body cam of the arrest, Gideon was acting like an influencer would when they get arrested, trying to film content. It was, you know, the generic variation of like, do you know who I am? Do you know how much money I make? No. Yeah, that kind of situation. So that was just like a really bad look. But I think other than that, it seems from the very light research that I've done, Gideon is someone that everyone thinks is like a relatively, like, hopefully net positive in the world. Like, he is putting people behind bars. He doesn't go as far as some other predator hunters. And he just has like a very unique way of doing it. Like, I think if you've seen any viral clips of him, there's cops arresting pedophiles, and he's just like selfie recording himself. And he's just like, hey guys, so this one's going to jail, am I right? Like,
this is Angel. Right now, he's having a mental breakdown. His dogs are at home by themselves, so we're gonna have to find out a way to get them taken care of. He came here to meet a 15-year-old girl. This is the new addition to the team. Anthony and White Red Hunters, a part of EDP Watch now. We just did this. We're in Brooklyn, New York.
very that vibe. And it's just kind of jarring to see the juxtaposition of like his very casualness along with the circumstances, but also like it's hard to hate on a guy who helps put people behind bars, right? Anyway, he decides that he's going to, I believe Mason Hull's ex-girlfriend Liv.
He said that he was a millionaire or some shit when he was getting arrested. Who? Gideon? Yeah, Gideon is like kind of questionable. Like, yeah, sure, catching predators is all good and stuff. I don't know. Like, yeah, like some parts of his personality are a little, I'm not too too educated to give a full take on it.
Believe the ex-girlfriend, I believe Mason Hull's ex-girlfriend Liv reaches out to him and she's explaining like, I was dating this guy for 8 months. His name is Mason Hull and he is a Looksmaxxer. He does have a TikTok following of like a couple 100,000 followers. That's growing now that he's been arrested, which is crazy. But he's nowhere near clavicular. He's like a small Looksmaxxer, probably like 200,000 on TikTok. And she's like, I was going through his phone and I found CSAM. I thought he was cheating on me. I found CSAM. I went to the police. They're going to investigate it. And I've given them, like she recorded it on her phone. So she's like scrolling through the Telegram messages, gave that all to the police immediately after leaving, which like huge kudos to her because there was no like, I'm going to confront him. And like some people were worried because sometimes like Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, you've got people who stay for whatever, fame, whatever. Anyway, but they were like, kudos to her. She got the evidence, left straight to the police, didn't come online. She's not trying to go viral with it. She did exactly what you're supposed to do. Police are investigating and it starts getting leaked here and there that something's going on with Mason Hull. And Gideon is like, okay, I want to cover this case, but he also knows if he starts reaching out, because I think at this point the ex-girlfriend hadn't reached out to him, if he starts asking around how to get in contact with Mason Hull's ex-girlfriend, Mason Hullo is going to know what's happening. So he decides he's going to play an Uno reverse. That's how he describes it. He's going to go on the Discord and debunk the Hullo accusation.
So what I did was I put in my Discord, yo, this looks like a nothing burger, it's fake, and the Pred himself literally posted it on his own TikTok.
So there were whispers that something's going on with Hullo, like, you know, weird charges, like something's going on. And Gideon goes online and he's like, no, it's not true. They're all fake. Okay.
Really? Oh, he's trying to play his
Hullo.
Hullo side.
Yes. So it's a whole ordeal. I mean, all of the videos are on Gideon's YouTube channel. There's a handful of them. There's interviews after the fact. There's just a lot. So please go watch all of those in its entirety so that you can get a really good idea of what's going on. But they decide that they're going to confront Hullo. Okay. So Gideon. And then you have this guy, Alex from Predator Poachers. I don't really know much about him. But and then you have Liv, who is the ex-girlfriend. So those three are going to show up to Hullo's apartment and confront him.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Where did we go from? So he was defending Hullo.
Only because he knew that he wanted to do this video.
Why did he do that? So the girlfriend reached out to him.
It seems like it.
Oh, so then why is he defending Hullo again?
Because they're going to show up to Hullo's house. And if he didn't defend, then I think that like he wouldn't let them in and talk to them. Like it was like a whole...
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I think that's why. I mean, he can probably explain it better. You know, it's not really the strongest aspect of this case in terms of the actual case itself, the criminal charges. Okay, honestly, the only reason you need to know about this Discord chat is because some people are upset with Gideon for even posting that on Discord in the first place, even though it was part of a grander scheme. And then second of all, at one point in the video, you're going to see Gideon almost comically pull out an Uno reverse card on Hullo's face. So that's really the only reason you need to even have this context.
So when he first meet Hullo thought that Gideon is on his side.
Yes, but like, okay, see, it's difficult because Gideon is someone who catches predators.
Right.
So if you don't know anything about Gideon other than that, and Gideon shows up to your front door, you're not going to let him in.
Right.
Especially if you're a predator, right? So then with that Discord message, it seems like maybe Hullo was more open to letting him in.
Okay.
Okay.
So does Hullo know that they're coming?
No.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they get to Florida. They are in the back seat. That's like how the video opens, and you just see Alex from Predator Poachers. I know nothing about that man. Liv, Hullo's ex-girlfriend, Gideon on the other side. They're all like crammed into the back seat. And Liv says that after she left Hullo's place, she went straight to the police, and she did confront him on the phone after. She says he was just sobbing, calling me, absolutely sobbing, telling me he wants to talk to me, and he's so sorry, and he'll change, he'll go to therapy, and he's, you know, doing all of this, and now he has demons inside of him, just all that type of bullshit. So they show up to his apartment door, and they knock on the door. They're filming with their iPhones, and Hullo opens up shirtless, and his hair is a mess. He looks like he just woke up. And Alex from Predator Poachers tells him, like, I don't want any neighbors to overhear anything, and then call anybody and just have a shit show. Is it cool if we go inside and talk about it over hushed voices? None of us have any weapons or anything crazy like that. Is it cool if we come in?
Mason, before anything, I don't want any neighbors to overhear anything, then call anybody and just have a shit show. Is it cool if we just go inside and talk about it in hushed voices? None of us have any weapons or anything like that or any crazy shit.
So they're just like trying to convince Hullo to let them in. So at this point, Liv, the ex-girlfriend, is like waiting in the car.
Oh.
You know, so it's just Gideon and Alex and their cameraman. I don't even know their cameraman was there. Okay, so it's just like basically Alex and Gideon. Gideon says, you know, when we went over to his house, we knock, he opens the door, he sees me and Alex, and I shit you not, I saw the life leave his face. So they start, you know, try to convince him to get in, and most of it is like, you don't want the neighbors to overhear. So Mason Hullo lets them in, and Alex is saying things like, before anything, like, you know, is any of that shit on Telegram? Is it stuff you made yourself, or did some dipshit just send that crap to you?
Is any of that shit on Telegram? Is it stuff you made yourself or did some dipshit just send that crap to you?
So a lot of it is like them trying to play his side like an investigator, which is something that they do in most of their videos. I think objectively, the way that they are able to communicate with people is really cool, and is not cool is not the right word, is effective, and is something that I guess people could learn from. However, I will say a lot of these videos, a lot of the content is not admissible in court. So just keep that in mind, right? Civilians cannot go around playing detective and get confessions out of people. It's not gonna fly like that in most courtrooms. And he's just like, well, I didn't make anything myself. So he says that they're asking him all the questions of, did you know how old these kids were, like these victims in the videos?
The youngest age that you saw that these people sent to you? I don't even know.
And he just says he doesn't know, but he just felt really guilty about it. And this is where Gideon comes in. And Gideon is someone that, after my very light research on him, he has this phenomenal ability to say the most unhinged things with a complete and absolute straight face. And he just asks and clarifies. He's like, you felt guilty after you came? And he's like, after I just watched the videos and stuff, I felt guilty and I just couldn't, I don't know, I just had to delete everything.
I just felt guilty about it after.
Like after you came?
Yeah, like after I just watched the videos and stuff, I just felt guilty and I just had to delete everything.
And Mason Hulo starts giving them lots of different excuses. He said, I wasn't trying to go for younger. I was honestly just trying to go for a little younger than I am.
I'm trying to go for like younger. I was honestly just trying to go for a little younger than I am.
He says, because he's still like 18, he just wanted to see in the 16 to 18 range specifically, which is already a crime, it's bad, right? But that's his excuse. However, that's not the truth, because Liv already told Gideon the girls were like 3, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Not that it would be okay if they were 16, 17, but or even 18 and forced into this, right? But was it just girls or boys or both? He responds, both, mostly probably women.
Boys or girls or both?
Both.
Okay.
Mostly probably women.
I would hardly even call 18-year-old girls women, let alone little children that are nowhere near the label of women. Side note, the videos in possession are very bad. According to the police file, in one file it reads, the victim is between the ages of 8 and 10. She is being restrained by a device, so she can't fight back. She's like tied up. While another victim is even younger, 6 to 8 years old, and in short, according to the police report, she is being essayed and she's crying. Then in one of the longer videos, there's an 8 to 10-year-old little child who is also screaming and crying during the duration of the video.
Jesus Christ, bro. Contains a 13-second video of a female between 6 and 8 years old. The female child is blank and laying on a bed on her side. The female child's part is being blank by an adult male's. Oh my god. And she started crying. This other file contained a 46-second video of a female child between 8 and 10 years old. The child is laying on a bed wearing only a pair of pink socks. At approximately 12 seconds into the video, a blank male gets onto the bed with the female child and spreads her legs open. The adult male inserts, okay, yeah, I don't have to finish reading that. Like, this is just, bro. Did you hear his reasoning too? He was like, oh, I wasn't trying to go too much younger. I just wanted a girl a little bit younger than me. And I'm only 18, so obviously it's going to be like a teenager, right? Brother, like these are well into the prepubescent ages. You're paying for this. This is federal stuff, like actual federal stuff.
10-year-old little child who is also screaming and crying during the duration of the video. And that's just what's listed in this specific police file. It does state that in his possession, he had more than 10 images and videos. These are just 3 that we know of. In Gideon's video, he's asked, if it appeared to him like the children victims were in pain. And Hulo responds, I mean, it seemed like they were probably just numb or drugged up. It seemed like they weren't really saying anything.
Did it seem like the kid was in pain?
I mean, it seemed like they were probably just numb or drugged up. It seemed like they weren't really...
Also, Hulo, the entire time, his demeanor is just like this. And his eyes are just like soullessly staring into the camera.
Wait, what? How is he out? He's not arrested after the girlfriend's report?
No, so they had to go through and I guess figure it out.
Is he still out?
No.
Okay.
I think Gideon was on it quick though, so it's not like there was a week in between. I think it was like the next day after the girlfriend reported to the police that Gideon was in Florida.
Wow, okay.
Gideon states that Liv, the ex-girlfriend, had told him that as she was going through his phone, she also discovered that he was looking up videos of animals being harmed, which raised a lot of alarms in her brain because they had just gotten a kitten together.
She saw in his search bar, he was trying to find videos of animals being harmed. And you know what's crazy? They just bought a kitten.
Now, Hulo later says that that's not true at all and that she's like half making up stuff just to make him look bad, but like, I don't really trust Hulo at all.
Yeah, it's like if she
It's
knew
like,
her spouse.
I have brand new kittens that I love with all my heart in my room that just obviously doesn't add up to what she's saying with that.
Guys, I have kittens. I have cute little kittens in my room. There's no way I would be into CP, even though I tried buying it. Like, wait, what?
Obviously, that's not even the most alarming part. The most alarming part, aside from the alleged purchasing and possessing of CCM, is the fact that he has a little sister around 10 years old. which according to the police report, a lot of the victims depicted were in that age range. He also has a little sister that's an infant, and they ask him, so Gideon and Alex are asking, confronting him, were there any thumbnails in there to where the body shape of that girl or boy looked the same age as your little sister?
Was there any thumbnails in there to where the body shape of that girl or boy looked the same as your little sister?
He says that's not what I wanted to look at. Obviously you didn't watch it, but you did see there was a body type that looked like your 10-year-old sister. Probably yes.
Probably, yes.
Were they white, Asian, black? He responds,
I want to watch more white people.
try to.
I like the white children more. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Like, he's just so open about his preferences for which kind of child. Like, yeah, I wanted to watch more of the white ones.
He says that he just he didn't really try to look for younger. He just bought a package basically, and he was just swiping and self-pleasuring. But specifically, if you note back to the alleged screen recording of the messages, the seller is saying things like CSAM, teens, all groups. So it seems like he specifically asked for CSAM. So, and not that it would make it better if he was watching teenagers, but it's just like he keeps trying to be like, oh, I didn't want younger. It just happened to be in there and I was just swiping. And there's like this really weird part. I get what they're trying to do, but they're like, so your hand was down there the whole time? And they're like, was it moving up and down? Like they're trying to get him to admit that he was getting gratification out of watching. But
Did you make those videos of Twitter? Was your hand going up and down on your piece?
he said that he was just watching normal shit and his body and mind just got curious and craved more. He says, quote,
I felt extremely guilty after, and I still do to this day.
He only feels guilty because he was caught, like, because he, like, the police is gonna get involved, and like, yeah, like, it's been eating me up every day, bro. Like, that's why I kept doing it. Like, that's why I kept doing it. Like, yeah, totally, bro. That's why he first wanted some for $25, then that wasn't enough, and then he asked again for $10. So yeah, clearly it was eating away at his conscience so much, guys. Come on. Hey, prayers for Holo.
So Gideon leaves, and this is pretty much like I wouldn't say a confession in the legal sense, but as close to admitting to the crimes as you can get on video. Okay, like it's pretty damn near there. And after he leaves, Hulo's response is doing things like posting a selfie of him at the gym with Looksmaxxing music, and he writes on there, no stress, there's always two sides to a story. Coincidence that she's overly pushing, trying to get this out on social media after us separating. Easiest way to spread misled information is online, and therefore I will release with a video on my behalf. With time, the truth will reveal itself. Stay tuned.
But my question is, what's the other side? I mean, you already admitted, and you were also caught on 4K, literally committing the federal crime of purchasing child material. Like, that is textbook pedophilia. Like, I know like the word pedophilia gets thrown around a lot today, which I don't like, by the way. Like, people these days love to throw that word at even just people that they don't like, you know. I'm not a fan of that because it kind of diminishes the strength of the word. But like, this guy, by federal law definition, literally, he is using money to obtain child material, and this is like prepubescent kids, and he did it repeatedly, and he even admitted to himself to this stuff. So it's like, it's about as textbook as you can get. I don't know what he thinks this statement is doing. Like, there's two sides to every story. Like, what can you possibly say to this, you know?
Another one reads, making a meme joke about a matter like that doesn't seem serious. She says it destroyed her career. Why is she having a great time now that it's out? Think about framing someone online, that there's only so many options. They are smart. I don't know. The peptides have infiltrated his gray matter and they're wreaking havoc because I don't know what this means. He also posts screenshots between his ex-girlfriend and someone else that, in my opinion, I don't know how legitimate these messages are. They just seem super fake. It shows his ex-girlfriend allegedly messaging someone. Hi, do you have the messages I sent? They respond, yeah. She responds, good. We are going to set him up. Everyone is going to think he is a PDF.
Okay, that does seem a little overly. It's like too good to be true. Like, yeah, I don't know. It does seem fake. We're gonna totally set him up to be like a PDF. Yeah.
Because that's exactly how someone talks when they're going undercover to take down a small public figure, right? That's exact. Furthermore, Hulo's ex-girlfriend states that they didn't even have enough money to buy food. And this is not her complaining like, oh, he wasted our money. This is her saying like, that's the level of depravity. Like, yeah.
Depravity, yeah.
She's like, he's using whatever money they did have to purchase CSAM. And that's why he's saying things like CP, $25 max, which has become a meme.
Yeah,
so if you go into this case, you're gonna see a lot of people saying $25 max, 25 max. Which even Hulo decides that he's going to jump in on the meme because he posted a Looksmaxxing video. And by Looksmaxxing video, I mean clenching your chin, posing really uncomfortably in a way that makes you look like some sort of anime action figure.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. This lame ass tried playing into the meme. Like, people were laughing about him basically being a cheapskate and being like, oh, yeah, only $25 max for CP or whatever. And then so he posted this video saying 5 times 5. And, you know, 5 times 5 is 25.
He posts one of those with 5 times 5, like 5x5, which is 25. Does he just think this is a hoot and a holler?
Like I get that's a strategy for some people to move past quote unquote being canceled. Like, okay, you're only canceled if you stop uploading. Like, you're only canceled if you let them, you can post through anything. But bro, like, you were doing inappropriate things to content of child stuff. That's not something you post through. That's not something you meme about.
Does he just think this is a hoot and a holler? Like, he says he wasn't memeing just to meme it. He did it because, quote, oh, that's just everyone saying it.
That's why you post like the 5 times 5 thing. Like,
Oh, that's just everyone saying it.
And it's crazy because during all of this, you have people defending him. You have fans defending him. You also have fellow moggers, besties, Chad moggers with oatmeal for brains, brain as smooth as his skin. He posts a selfie of the two of them in the car. Hulo looks unnatural just posing, and he writes in the caption, as a former defense attorney and someone who has faced allegations before, I know the importance of waiting to hear both sides. Stop judging as if you know someone's life and let the facts come to light.
See, like, the statement itself isn't wrong. Like, yeah, sure, wait for both sides. Don't just believe what you see online. But he admitted to all of it. Like, what? I don't, oh, bro, this is breaking my brain.
They were also organizing that he was going to do some sort of big interview with another Looksmaxxer, but I don't think that, if it happened, it's probably not going to air. Yeah. Gideon at one point starts going through Hulo's phone during this video that he filmed, and he points out, like, I don't know what algorithm it was or one of the social medias, but he's like, why'd you like this picture of this really young looking girl? To which Hulo transparently says, so I'd get more posts like that to see more.
I'm being honest, I like that one.
Yeah.
So I'd get more posts like that to see more.
And he's like, oh, that makes sense. You built this brick by brick. No pun intended.
and you built this big brick by brick. No pun intended.
So Gideon is saying, like, you built your algorithm brick by brick. He says that he understands his girlfriend was traumatized finding, because she clicked some of the links and saw the CSAM. But he says,
I feel like she really is trying to ruin my life.
I feel like if anything, I need to go serve what I did wrong and then maybe go to like a facility treatment center. And throughout this entire video, like, they kind of framed it as we're just filming so you can't later say we came in here and beat you up. It's for safety. And then later at the end, he's like, are you guys gonna post this?
Yeah, but are you posting that?
No, I'm not posting that.
Yeah. And they tell him no. And then he's like, then what are the mics for?
What are the mics for?
And he's like, I just don't want, anything to go online. I just don't want to see my face on the internet right now. And they're like, that's totally understandable. He contemplates deleting his social media, saying, I truly just want to delete my account after confessing. I don't even like watching TikTok because people are making fun of me left and right. There's no point in even having it.
I don't even like watching TikTok because pretty much on there. Like, people are making fun of me left and right. Like, there's no point even having.
Gideon, after going on a monologue about how Hulo needs to confess to the internet, when he sees Hulo checking out of the conversation, he hits him with a, you ever do swimming? You have like a swimmer's body. And then he's like, oh. And Gideon's like, no homo.
Did you do swimming? You have like a swimmer body. No homo.
Thank you. It's just the shoulder.
What? Okay, I can see where Gideon maybe started to get some weird looks from his fans. Like, yo, Gideon, why are you trying to like make fun with this pedophile guy?
It's the up shoulders. And he's like, it's kind of like you have a Michael Phelps build. And then somehow Gideon convinces him to do like a selfie style video. So Gideon is recording his face and it looks like he's like, it's like a fan meet, okay? Gideon is the fan. Not saying he is a fan, but like the recording style.
Okay.
And then he's like, Mason, no more child porn, right?
Mason, no more child porn, right?
And Mason is nodding and looking away. Last time?
Last time?
And he's looking away, mewing, running his hand through his hair. And then
Gideon was like, no CP anymore, right? And then he just uses that as an opportunity to show off his cheekbones. He was like, yeah.
Running his hand through his hair. And then Gideon literally pulls out an Uno reverse card. Because remember, so a lot of people were actually mad at Gideon when it was happening that he had discredited the allegations against Hulo on his Discord.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, I thought you're for catching predators, not protecting predators, right? Yeah. So he was like, I did it for the long game, like Uno reverse.
He handed a card to him?
He just kind of waved it in his face. I don't know if Mason took it, yeah.
What's Mason's reaction?
He's like got no reaction this whole time. He's just like soulless eyes.
I mean, I guess what
Yeah.
What could you do at this point?
Mason Hull was eventually arrested May 6, 2026. He is now facing 15 counts of possession of CSAM. His occupation in the arresting documents read TikTok influencer, which he was released on bond. That bond was revoked because he kept going online. In fact, he went on a Discord where they played pretend court.
According to court documents, investigators say Hull violated those conditions. Records also allege he was seen on Discord, taking part in what's described as a mock trial and making jokes about the criminal case.
So it was like a Discord server with a bunch of people, and one of them was like, I'm gonna be the judge. And then the other person was like, I'll be the prosecutor, I'll be the defense attorney. And Mason...
On this case?
Yes, and Mason was in the chat.
Yeah, that just shows he doesn't take any of these charges seriously. Like, he needs to be locked up. You're seeing right now how his brain is processing this, and it's all games to him. If you let him off without barely any consequences, he's gonna do it again.
And they're like all there. It's like a video like a Zoom meeting on
Oh,
Discord.
they're having a fake little trial.
Yeah.
Mason was a part of it.
Yeah. And they're like, Your Honor, my client. And they're just like doing dumb shit. And he's there.
I'm so confused.
Yeah. So the bond was you cannot be on social media. You cannot be on the internet unless it's to speak to your attorney. So they revoke his bond. Now he's back in jail. He's still posting.
In jail?
Someone is posting on the account.
On his social media? Mm-hmm. Posting what?
His, like, the vault. They call it the vault of just fucking weird thirst traps.
They're posting thirst trap right now?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Who could possibly be posting right now?
His manager, his... Who knows?
Kill him.
And some people are commenting and they're supporting him in his comments. One comment says, can't we just forgive him and stop being jealous? Another says, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think he's a bad dude. Another comments, one minor imperfection you have. Another writes, Hulo is pred-maxing.
Yeah, minor imperfection. That's right.
Another writes, Hulo is pred-maxing. One states that for Hulo to get out of his charges, he has to, quote, Hulo got an IQ max, bro. Another says, no more CP maxing. But there are genuine defenders who are saying things like, what he was involved with is somewhat disturbing and wrong. But at the same time, I do not believe he is evil or a genuine danger to society in the way people online are making him out to be. From what has been said about his behavior and interest from a young age, it seems like he is a mentally ill person whose mind became corrupted over time through exposure and disturbing content in unhealthy internet spaces.
It's another infantilizing him. His brain became warped by unhealthy internet spaces. Like, sure, you can say he's young, 18, okay? At 18, I wasn't out here trying to buy CSAM.
Mind became corrupted over time through exposure and disturbing content in unhealthy internet spaces. I also feel like Gideon should have focused more on exposing the distributors and people behind the material instead of mainly turning Hulo into a viral target online. What? One person comments, being mocked by a pedophile is so brutal. How do any of us even recover from this? Another, because he's facing 25 years. One comment writes, 1 year for each dollar he paid for CSAM is crazy work. One person comments, Looksmaxxer in PDF, prisoners are going to be opening him up like a kid on Christmas. To which one person comments back, I don't like how that was worded. Another person comments, his cellmates are going to appreciate all the Looksmaxxing he's done. Another person comments, people defending this because he's attractive proves how cooked social media is. If this was some random ugly dude, nobody would hesitate to call him a monster. Protect kids first, not influencers. Now, I will say this about Gideon. I know lots of people have opinions about just like the whole niche of content that's created with predator catchers, and like really that could be said about any niche of content online. I do think, I don't really know much of his lore, but I think without his video, Hulo might have a lot more defenders, because these are the exact group of people who are inclined to say things like the ex-girlfriend's lying because she's jealous, like that. I think that would have been the rhetoric by a lot of people. I don't know if that would have been all people, hopefully not, but I think him able to get the video of him confessing to it, at least for the public to see, even if it becomes inadmissible in court, I do think it helped a lot with this case. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? Stay safe. I will see you in the next one.
Well, yeah, that's the end of that video. That's the end of that case. It's pretty clear what my thoughts are. I think I've said it enough times. Do not infantilize this guy. Objectively, yes, 18 is a young age. He knew what he was doing was wrong. To be buying that, that's what makes it federal. And then also, it wasn't even just like a year or two younger. The fact that he was doing it with prepubescent children, like with prepubescent children being the content. Remember, 8 to 10 years old. 6 to 8 years old was also another age range. That's the kind of stuff he was consuming. I don't think you have to be my age to know that that's wrong. Like, I'm 27. At 18, you know what? Let's close the gap even more. At 15, my ass wasn't looking at 8-year-olds playing with Legos, playing with Barbies, and wanting to do nasty shit to that kind of content, you know? Yeah, so for anybody defending him, like, oh, it's just one minor imperfection, he's not a threat to society. You don't know that. Somebody who's already that far gone the rabbit hole, like you're going as far as to purchase that kind of material, what's next? He's gonna get tired of that eventually, you know that, right? Like with every vice that you get, you're gonna get numb to it. You're gonna get used to it. It's gonna stop being strong enough for you. So what's the logical next step? He's gonna start going for that same age group in real life. Like he might actually start going for IRL children now, you know, like 10 years old. So that's my take. I hope he gets the maximum amount of time that he can get for this. You know what? Let's just look it up. United States federal law, buying, receiving, or distributing child typically carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years in prison with a maximum of 20 years for a first offense. Oh, really? That's not that much. Wait, that's crazy. Okay, well, you know what? Okay, so with that information, I guess I'll go ahead and add this to my statement. I hope he gets the max so that he feels the weight of his actions, you know, so he won't get out and just do it again, or maybe even go for actual children, like literally harm a child. But anyway, that's all. That was my take on that whole situation. I'm glad to have finally finally gotten educated on it, because I only saw the meme stuff. I only saw the stuff about, you know, the 25, like only $25 or something. That's all I knew about the case, really. So yeah, I'm glad I watched this with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, YouTube. Hopefully he gets the maximum amount of sentencing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.